New proof is surfaced in the demise of Shanquella Robinson, the 25-year-old seriously beaten evidently by a companion while on a gathering trip in Mexico. From one perspective, the U.S. government will view this in a serious way, and then again it's not committed. He discovered that companions not just let the family know that Shanquella Robinson had liquor harming, yet they likewise advised that to police. Today specialist misled me. That assertion was knife. Weller Robinson has been one of the most spoken about cases for a couple of months now, since the fresh insight about this youthful, wonderful and energetic 25-year-old young lady's murder adventure arrived at the media. It has acquired massive prevalence. Nancy Elegance, an eminent American legitimate reporter and TV writer, has chosen to take it upon her shoulders to make such mindfulness as could really be expected, and today fix the case subtleties for additional proof. Does the name Shanquella Robinson matter to you? Since it makes a big difference to me. Nancy proceeds to make sense of how Shanquella Robinson was generally presumably set up for homicide by, in all honesty, her movement mates. The link 6, besides the fact that they carried out have a wrongdoing as deplorable homicide, yet in addition they felt free to mess with the proof by giving misleading assertions to Quella's family and the U.S. police. The impact that Nancy had over the overall population was strong, to the point that individuals began scrutinizing the laws of the state transparently. I'm with Nancy on this one. 100. It's serving a terrible point of reference with no capture. Assuming we have hamburger with somebody, we can simply travel to another nation and deal with it, and nothing will essentially happen to us. That model they're setting Mexico and the USD to discover a few equity for the unfortunate lady and her family. Public likewise extraordinarily respected Nancy's endeavors. One of them said, Nancy Elegance, thank you for your resolute endeavors to bring equity for Shanquella and Robinson, the casualties. Mom Lizard Robinson in a meeting gave an open statement about how she had been deceived at first about the reason for her little girl's demise. The postmortem coming up demonstrated productive when the specialists began matching the explanations of the Cabo 6 who returned securely to the U.S. without even an air awkward based on their underlying untruths. Turns out even that disclosure wasn't sufficient to put the ones capable in a correctional facility. Salmandra even fully communicated her desires in a gathering I really want to capture, and a conviction for every one of the ones. The Cabo 6 Nancy has been extraordinary in her profession. She investigated every possibility in the knife while a homicide case. One of the causative variables that handled the link 6 in a tough situation is the way that Nancy shed light on a critical detail that set the allegations against the 6 young ladies. Aki Cabo 6 who went with Shanquella. Someone was videoing this. They get her up, she's buck bare now. What should be so significant in a video to have turned the entire dynamic of the case? The video, as Nancy makes reference to, was recorded by a person in the video. It tends to be seen that Shanquella is overall fiercely beaten by another young lady. Slaps, scratches, punches, kicks, hair pulls and so forth should be visible and heard. She was defenseless and alone, as well as she doesn't appear to be needing to retaliate. The expectation of homicide was clear, which was likewise made sense of by dissident named Tamika Mallory at a question and answer session in regards to the Shanquella murder case. A lady was pounded into the ground on camera and she got back from an excursion with her neck and back, her spine broken. It's extremely basic. We saw an assault, not simply that. The discussion occurring in the video amplified the sort of harmfulness. Quella needed to persevere because of her purported companions and help. A few group composed expressions of appreciation commending Shanquella for her understanding and flexibility all through the entire difficulty. Shanquella was killed, yet she represented harmony when told to retaliate. She expressed can't back. No individuals can be caught in poisonous kinships enough, same as caught in injury, clung to a poisonous accomplice. I feel so dreadful for her being trapped in that particular situation. The affection back she represented. One more added, it was anything but a battle, it was a beat down. I sympathies to her family. This is a parent's most dreaded fear. Your kid goes out traveling to the final turning point. Tear. Shanquella Robinson, I petition God for equity for herself as well as her family. The video hands has in a real sense unleashed destruction on the public. Meetings, fights and huge houses of worship were coordinated all through the states to show fortitude with the group of the person in question and start their recuperating cycle, as well as compress the public authority and the concerned specialists to look for every single imaginable mean and rebuff the suspects. We didn't come to sit calm, applause, yet we came for equity this evening. The number of even no to equity will win in the event that things weren't clear enough. From the video, even the clinical group playing out the postmortem uncovered that the unfortunate young ladies experienced extraordinary injury as a blood power assault on the brow, grating rubs and broken neck and spinal injury. Liquor harming isn't close at all to the cold, hard reality. By far the case is advancing quicker than any of us at any point thought. The credit likewise goes to the remarkable legitimate group Ben Crump and Swan. From finding pristine contentions on the side of their case to recovering critical observers, they've truly accomplished something amazing. Suan spread out their requests from the specialists, saying the Cabo 6 ought to be captured and removed from the U.S. to Mexico so the Mexican government can manage the charged by their own regulations. She likewise displayed sheer incredulity towards the inflexibility of the U.S. government. One noticeable activity that carried all of this to the U. U.S. government is the letter that the lawful group composed alluding to Joe Biden, the leader of the U.S. To piggy to this case and get Shanquella her due equity, the items in the letter upon investigation uncovered a modest solicitation close by all the fundamental proof in regards to the case to Mr. President. In one of her meetings she discussed the reason for sending the letter so we could close the hole on the organization, saying that they're uninformed about the case, they don't have the foggiest idea what to ask is, and they don't have the foggiest idea what's going on with the case, so we gave them sort of a rundown of the case. The request was to go to vital lengths to energize the specialists and accelerate the advancement so the enduring of the casualties' family can be settled. Suan from Shanquella's lawful group said that the component that provoked us to send this letter is the direness because of the disseminating proof and indications of actual attack. With the progression of time, when the insight about the letter arrived at the media, it spread like quickly. Thus the White House Secretary had to answer when gotten some information about the considerations of the White House Administrator in regards to that letter. Hari and Jean-Pierre, the Secretary, displayed vulnerability and dubiously answered, "Definitely, I don't have the foggiest idea what." How did she? "I don't have the foggiest idea what's going on or what's happening yet." She declined so quick. Individuals answered her explanation in the most despicable ways. One said, "So she's truism, they can't interfere with the FBI examination." I can't help thinking about the thing is taking the FBI such a long time to capture the 6 individuals who were in the room with Shanquella during the assault. Well, we in all actuality do have a similar inquiry to us at this moment. In the event that the FBI is managing the issue, why have we not seen any capture warrants being given or individuals put in a correctional facility? Ms. G, we have the proof of treachery, the reason for death explained by the clinical report, and surprisingly, greater than that, we have an observer who has affirmed endlessly time again that Miss Shanquella was abused by her companions. For the people who don't know, as of late the attendant of the farmhouse, which was likewise the site of the homicide, emerged with an overwhelming assertion, making statements as she didn't appear to find a place with the others. She didn't grin and was awkward. He further added that he smelled a rat when he was told Shanquella became ill because of liquor harming and was subsequently distinguished dead. After the arrival of the video, he became determined that his feelings of trepidation were correct and that for sure it was a homicide. When I saw the video via virtual entertainment, I understood that essentially had controlled me with the data she gives of what ended up driving the country at the earliest opportunity. He said the Sheba is being referenced is, as a matter of fact, the excellent suspect that ought to have been captured when she was recognized as the young lady in the video manhandling Shanquella. It was no common wrongdoing out of an angry outburst or envy. Shanquella's homicide has been named as femicide, which Nancy makes sense of as an orientation-roused wrongdoing. So there we have it, the delicate case with dependable observers, satisfactory proof, suspects and convicts not one yet 6. Why has it still not been considered by the U.S. government as a wrongdoing worth being condemned to jail for? Here is your response from Nancy: it is an orientation-persuaded wrongdoing and it has not been characterized by the U.S. officials. The case is made to go around aimlessly in light of the fact that the proviso is an American-lined request. That is all there is to it. So like and subscribe our channel.